Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Cybersecurity 101, Introduction to Cybersecurity. We are going to explain what is cybersecurity, and you should understand what is cybersecurity and how to be safe when you're using your system, whether it's internal on a network or external network or on the cyber. So I'm going to be discussing that one. And the agenda of this topic is the agenda of the topics are understanding cybersecurity, common cybersecurity threats, basic cybersecurity measures, identifying and responding to cyber incidents, best practices for staying safe online. So when you're online, whether you're on the internet or just maybe between your company and just doing something on a production machine, you just have to be making sure that it is safe to do so. And let's talk about it, how to do that. So we're going to talk about cybersecurity, and understanding cybersecurity is the most critical aspect of a company. If you don't have cybersecurity measures for your company, then one of these days is going to be an attack on your software or hardware or your business, and then you will regret it. So in order to not regret it at a later date, make sure that you have some measurements and try to understand what is cybersecurity. So by definition, cybersecurity is the practice of protecting computers, networks, and data from cyber threats and attacks. So a computer basically runs some sort of software application, controls data and data input output. We call it I/O, and then a lot of software. It could be operating system, could be database, could be um, application related software, could be compilers, could be interpreters, could be application interfaces to some API calls, all kind of software, whether it's client side or server side or running on the cloud. You're going to use some computer running some kind of operating system, connecting to the network, and then passing information between those networks, which is data going between the network. So how do you protect that one? This is the topic today. Technologies that are involved, a range of technology, including encryption. So data encryption and SSL certificate is part of the protecting your data. Another measure that you could do, firewall, whether it's a Windows operating system firewall, Linux firewall, Solaris firewall, Mac firewall, Linux Ubuntu firewall. Each one of them, IP tables, firewall D, all those kind of system-related firewalls is one measure. And then you have also border firewalls, network firewalls. You could have border for the country to country, and DMZ, demilitarized zone network. You have different firewalls to just protect it by subnetting your network to different zones and then protecting each of the zone differently. So you could have all kind of firewalls to do it. An intrusion detection system, you have to make sure that you have a system to identify this kind of intrusion. So penetration cannot be into your system as easy as just running some kind of malware or ransomware or something, right? So these are the measures that you have to set up your system. And then these are all used in cybersecurity. Process and practices. And so each company, they have to have a business rules, and based on certain process and practices and the kind of best practices that you have to identify to your users, to your admins, to your cybersecurity folks, and to your application team to database team to operating system that are running on it. All of those ones, you have to have some process, and then how you practice those processes are very important. So here I say cybersecurity encompasses processes and best practices to secure system against potential threats and vulnerabilities. If you have vulnerability on your system, maybe your operating system is end of life. Maybe your software that is running is end of life. Just because the software was not upgraded by the vendor, that doesn't mean that you could run it on any network and then on a production machine. So you might move those kind of software through a DMZ kind of subnet or something to just protect it behind the firewall. So they're not exposed to the production or cyber or the internet through one wide area network. It may be local to an end user that are using internally. And obviously the training of the end users and all the other aspect is part of your protecting your system without having any vulnerabilities, and make sure that your system are patched literally regularly and then backed up, so they are not compromised. Important of cybersecurity and increased digital reliance. As business and then individual rely more on digital technology, the need for strong cybersecurity grows significantly. The more the data that you have, the more cybersecurity vulnerabilities are going to grow significantly. So sometimes you could be working on a client server architecture. Sometimes you may be working on a cloud computing. Sometimes you might be working on a big data. That the big data could be terabytes of data that are done between HPC, high performance computing, or some sort of supercomputing technology that are reading data sets that are really large, and then they have to be protected, or databases that table space are really large, or software engineering application that could be really large, or even installing compilers and the software like interpreters or other ones. Sometimes they have to be protected themselves, because if the compilers and interpreters get in the hand of a hacker or somebody, they might just run their code and using a denial of service attack or DDoS attack, distributed denial of service attack, and against your own data, and then damage a lot. So the financial and reputation damage depends on what kind of data breaches are happening, and then data breaches can lead to significant financial losses and damage. An organization reputation could also be damaged, making cybersecurity very important, very critical, that you have to protect your system at all time, not just when you're online, and then the end user has to be trained and everything. And so key concept in terminology, you need to know understanding malware, for example. Malware is a malicious software designed to harm or exploit any programmable device. Knowing its type helps in prevention. So a device might have the Internet of Technology or something, then a malware could be just maybe a camera or something, or a refrigerator or something that is wide open, and then the malware could be installed. It could damage to the house, or maybe a malware could be installed on a software application that could run on cloud, and then make the damage on the cloud, or a lot of other places. Phishing awareness, you have to be aware of the phishing. Phishing is a technique used to trick individuals into revealing sensitive information. Usually this happened by kind of sending an email. Awareness can be prevent data breaches. So phishing, sometimes they might send you an email saying that, oh, can you click on this one? They bait you, basically. That's why the word phishing comes in with PH rather than FISH. Phishing is a term in cybersecurity saying that somebody may send you an email or a letter at home by asking you to do something in order for you to gain a little bit money or something, or just download some software or click somewhere which you should have never click on it. Because all of those phishing information, if you read the email, sometimes the email address that of the person is not from the company that is there. So the email is at some user at some number at gmail.com or at yahoo.com. You know that that's fake kind of email address. And then also the URL that they point to, even though they give you the company name, sometimes if you just browse over through the URL that they do, it goes to a IP address that is not the website of the bank that they have the icons or the company icons. All of those images that they have cut and pasted, they made it just in order to bait you. And then somehow by phishing, they will just get your click on and then maybe download malware or maybe just ask you for something and steal some information. So don't click on those ones, and then make sure that some kind of threat like that comes in. Check with your security of admins, and then check with IT professionals. Make sure that you don't click on it and just send that as an attachment to your company cybersecurity folks or the IT professionals that are responsible for figuring out what needs to be done. Role of firewall. The firewall, sometimes you could block a subnet, you could block a IP address, you could block certain ports, and the firewalls are just to prevent incoming and outgoing malware kind of packets. So somebody could not sniff into your network and steal your information. That's why you want to just secure your website by SSL certificate and data encryption. So that will prevent them to sniff it. But at the same time, firewall also prevents a lot of ports when they run Nmap or some other tools to just find out what are the ports that are open. So the ports by default 1024 system ports are assigned, and then additional databases and application, they open those ports. If a port is open, make sure they go through HTTPS, which is stand for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, rather than HTTP, which is clear text. So some of the software like NIS make sure that are not used anymore because that was clear text, telnet, and then FTP. So all of those ones are copy, is copy. All of those ones is copy is actually secure copy. That's good. Secure FTP is good, and then you could do OpenSSH with two-factor authentication and all kind of secure ways to prevent these kind of data breaches. Important of encryption. Encryption is basically going to just protect your packets on the network. So if somebody could just do a TCP dump of your data or somehow steal some of the packet, that the packets are meaningless to them when they get it, because it's all encrypted. By not having the private key of your server, just for having the public key, they cannot decrypt it back using their public key. So there's a protection with SSL certificate. And then if you're doing Java key tools also create certificate. There's ways you can protect these systems. I've done it for many years, and that's why I'm making this video for you, to just help you out. Type of cyber threats. There are malware, as I mentioned earlier, and then it could be malicious software that could be just written for the purpose of exploiting vulnerabilities. Ransomware is a type of malware that encrypts files and demand payments. A lot of the companies from sometimes from different countries that they run these kind of ransomware, a lot of them, they demand payment in order to just open the files back. They decrypt your files on the machine that they had malware or ransomware installed, and they demand some amount of money, and then in order to just decrypt it, so they kind of hack your system for that purpose, and it's kind of blackmailing you. Phishing is, I explained, it's mostly and the source of email that comes in, as you can see here. And this often occurs via email, but it could also be a letter sent at home. And most people, when they receive a letter, sometimes they assume that, well, since the person was, kind of valid, they send a letter. No, that's not true. Just because they send a letter, they just have your address for some reason, which they shouldn't, and they just send it to your address. Maybe they are stealing some piece of information by knowing your relative, or some kind of last name, or some kind of address. Some information on that one is usually information that is kind of catchy. So they catch your eyes and they say, "Oh, this is true that the last name is my cousin that lives in Chicago, or this Illinois, or Canada, or Afghanistan, or Germany." And then as a result, by knowing that information, they could just try to hack you by providing you some kind of baiting and say, "You know what, I just won the lotto, and there's only way that you could get this money if you put 3% of it now, so I can pay the taxes in England, and then I send you." I got a lot of these funny things, and then like I send them back saying that I tear it down, and just by not responding, I kind of told them that, well, go ahead, use that. That is all yours. I'm not going to just respond. That's how you should respond. You should never write them back, never do anything, because they will get another piece of information. Sometimes they may call you a house in order to just know if somebody's in the house, whether that person that picks up the phone is a female, a child, or a male. So when you don't know the number, don't even respond, because you're not giving them any information. And that same thing with opening a letter or email or something. If you don't know the person, that is not from your company or from a company that you applied for, never just click on it, because the minute you click on it, you're hooked with some information. They always are sending money, say, "Oh, this person, I know that in your family in Africa, that I used to live there, and then now as a result, I want to send you $7,000 every month if you just send me $300 for the taxes that I could get it." And then everybody's like, "Well, 300 for 7,000. Let me just send it this time," and then right away you lose your money. And then there are people that are falling into their nonsense, because they just say, "Well, there are millions of dollars that it is on this gold or this Bitcoin or something involved, and you are identified as one of the family members. In order to just claim it, you have to talk to me. I'm a lawyer, I'm a this and that." None of that is true. Don't even bother with it. Just make sure you are getting that one. And if you have to talk with the authority, and the lawyers or something, FBI or someone, maybe if the thing is bothering you, just do that, and don't just fall into their trap. So denial of service attack. There are two types of denial of service attack. One is DOS, denial of service. The other one is DDoS attack. DDoS attack is really tough because the companies usually that they want to hack, let's say if they want to get Google down or Yahoo down, or some point in 2001 or 2002, they just brought Yahoo down by doing DDoS attack. And they are attacking the Yahoo website in such a way that the Yahoo website had to just be overwhelmed with millions of requests at a time. So it does not serve the other website. And by having distributed denial services, they write a same program and runs it on millions of computers or hundreds of thousands of computers to just send you in nanoseconds that many millions of requests. And by the website being busy to just even respond to a ping or just opening the Yahoo main page, then the service was down. But then all the companies got smarter, and then they had edge servers, they had WebLogic, they had a lot of Apache web servers and firewalls and everything. And then you just have to look at these robots kind of software that is coming as calls, and then you have to count the number of IP coming from a request coming from one IP. And if it is more than 100, you just drop it and just deny it. So on the firewall, you could do that one. I have done that one for thousands of things that was in my service. I'm not going to talk the detail of it because of the cybersecurity reason, but there are ways to prevent denial of service attack as well as DDoS attack, and that's why a lot of these companies like Google and other ones, they have thousands of other servers to prevent how to not be hacked or overwhelmed with these requests. Example of cyber attacks, even companies like Equifax, there was a data breach. You can see that one is there. There's the personal information PEP kind of things that was at one point done. A lot of the credit cards were hacked at some points. So they all have a history of being hacked, and they always work with companies to just have some measure and some kind of fallback and how to prevent themselves from just being hacked. And was also one WannaCry ransomware attack that you might have heard about it. And then severity of cyber threats. These high-profile incidents underline the potential severity and consequence of cyber threats in today's digital. The fact that Equifax and WannaCry and the other companies that I named earlier, they are all shows how significant it is, how big it is for bigger companies that were compromised. Impact of cybersecurity threats, cyber threats on individual and organization. So this could go for an individual, for a group, for a department, for a small company, for a mid-sized company, and for a large, very, very large company. It is not never kind of like, well, if you're the larger you are, the easier for other ones to be protected, or the vice versa. So it all is depending on what kind of software you're running, what kind of hardware you're running, what kind of process and guidelines you have for your users, for your software, for your hardware, and physical security and kind of virtual security, and then encryption kind of things. Organization impact. Cyber threats can cause substantial financial loss for an organization through data breaches and system downtime, impacting their operations. Obviously, if your system is down, and then you have downtime for. At the same time, reputation damage. Your company, once it was breached, nobody trusts your company anymore. They say, well, it was hacked and all that thing. So it's very important to just have some good measures. Individual risk, individual face risk like identity theft and financial fraud and results of cybersecurity. One of the things that could happen to your individual, somebody might just steal your identity, and they could have a job or they could have work somewhere else. That's not as much kind of an issue as long as you have your job, maybe somebody else, but that's still fraud, and it is still wrong to do. So, and sometimes they steal your identity in order to get a house or get a someplace or just do much more damage in terms of prison and this and that. So if the person is really bad, they might do a lot of harm to you. Basic cybersecurity measures. A strong password is one of the important thing, but password could be still compromised. No matter what, how strong you have it, 15 characters, 20 characters, there's software that could do brute force attack on the password, and they will figure out your password. So another way you could do is by using multi-factor authentication or two-factor authentication. A multi-factor authentication is a mechanism that, in addition to authentication through login password, you also have a second kind of what you have. Let's say you have a iPhone, whether your iPhone or your phone, you just have RSA token, a soft token that you could just use as a two-factor authentication. So if they have your password, they don't have your phone with them. So what you have on your hand and then at your position, then you could provide a second factor. But because they steal only your password, they're not going to have your fingerprint or your RSA token or your phone or something with Google Authenticator. So this measure of second factor authentication is going to be very important. There's software, a password manager. I don't recommend password managers or writing password. It is best to memorize it very good so you don't forget it. It has to have some logical names to it. It has to be a combination of uppercase, lowercase, special characters, numbers, and it has to be long enough. And then it could be some kind of sentence, and then every letter of it, some kind of poem or something. So the password, how you select your password is very important. But password itself, I say that it's going to be compromised. So it's not good to just save it somewhere, whether you write it somewhere or you just save it in an app. Because sometimes you don't know if the app is itself is kind of running that one in order to just 6 years from now, and they know that this password was there, some admin that was working there, they're not working anymore, and they stole the password of a lot of users. And sometimes when people, they steal a laptop or this stuff, they steal a lot of information for people's phone numbers and other stuff, or email address and other ones. Email address could be always detected by just knowing the company name and other ones. But sometimes, usually like companies, they have a username dot first name dot last name at gmail.com or something. So email address is not that hard to do it. And they sometimes use that one to spam it. Don't advertise your email also. They could spam other companies with your email address. Regular software update and patches. Make sure that whatever software you have, your operating system is not end of life, and then always update the software. So you install the latest Firefox, the latest Vim, the latest Git, the latest GitHub, and Java, Python, whatever operating system and application and database you're using, Oracle, MySQL, anything, make sure you update them and make sure you patch them regularly. There's critical patch update for the database, there's critical patch update for operating system. You have to do that one. Sometimes we call it CPU, critical patch update, which is on the hardware is called central processing unit. And then the GPU, graphical processing unit, also has to be patched. Firmware has to be patched. So all the software has to be patched. Patching is very, very important. Make sure that you don't have vulnerability on your system. And then if you do have end-of-life servers, make sure you put them behind the DMZ kind of network, demilitarized network. And so patching vulnerabilities are very important, protected from exploit. It's gonna protect you from the exploit. Otherwise, if you don't patch it, it is much easier to find out. Like Microsoft does every Tuesday of the month, they releases the latest kind of bugs, fixes, and everything. And then the hackers, by the time that Tuesday releases, saying that, okay, this software Java JDK had this vulnerability, and then here's the patch. They already are running some kind of exploit on that one on Wednesday. So if you don't do your patches right after that night, make sure that your systems, if you have 1,000 servers, they are just automated to be patched, and don't just wait for 1 week to say, well, it was just released last week. All those hackers, as soon as they see something, they find out the vulnerability, they just have their code running to find out how to exploit it. Network security and firewall, it's very important to just have firewalls on your system, protecting your data in the internal network versus external network. So end users that are working on that network, make sure that they understand how to protect the network, and also not to just be kind of giving information just because somebody make a phone call, say, oh, the computer is down, can I just get some information from the developer or something about this user? Oh, here is the username, can you just tell me how I can fix this thing for him? And I'm an admin. So there's no kind of control over the phone how you could identify the other side, the person is the right person and the other person not a hacker. And sometimes like AI software that runs ask you questions that are very, very kind of tricky. So make sure that whatever information you're giving it to the right source, not to the hackers, not to the AI, and that is trying to get information from you. Identifying response to the cybersecurity, what is signs of cybersecurity incidents. So all of a sudden you see unexpected software behavior. That could be just a sign that it is something is wrong, or unauthorized account access. So you're getting an email or something that, oh, the website that somebody else logged in as you, or this other data was requested for this purpose, which you never requested. A lot of unauthorized access account information could be one of the signs of cybersecurity incident. Changes in system performance. System performance, to be honest, is not always the case. Sometimes you're running internally a database that is opening some table space that is really large and the memory is not enough. So maybe the system performance degraded. And so you have to run top or htop or run strace or the process. There's a lot of utilities and GNU utilities or GNOME utilities and other Linux, Unix, Windows software that you could check for PowerShell even with Bash and other ones. You could detect these kind of performance, whether it's actually system related or it is malware related or some kind of compromise. So performance could cause it, and then sometimes if you see the performance is degraded and then there's some process that on the system that should have never run on it and is collecting information, right away disconnect the computer from network. Because when you disconnect it, you're preventing it to just that software to run as a worm or Trojan horse and then connect to multiple other servers, and then the whole network could be compromised. So make sure that you could isolate that as much as you do. And when you assign password, make sure that all the systems have different passwords, not just use one password for 1,000 servers. So you could have some kind of patterns to just have it, and then it's easy for you to memorize it, but not for a hacker to just find out the pattern by just getting it from you. Steps to take during a cybersecurity incident. So it's important to stay calm because if you panic, it's going to be getting worse. Follow a response plan. And so most companies, they have a response plan, whether you contact the cyber team, cyber folks, or maybe you could contact your system administrator or system analysis or IT professional, anybody that knows a lot more than you, or next to you, a coworker that may have had this kind of information. But make sure that you just don't give information to everybody. Just make sure you do call the right authority, that whether it's your SOC team, cybersecurity team, or IT professionals, you contact them, and then based on what they advise you, follow that one. We have done a lot of these kind of things, and we're trained, and then when the people have the training, they will guide you through the right steps, and then usually the companies, they have already written these kind of policies and rules. Disconnect affected device, like I mentioned earlier. So by disconnecting the affected device, you're preventing further spread of the incident, and then it's not going to go to multiple network. A computer that is not connected to the network is the most secure one, right? So it's all local to you, and then that's the joke is if you're not networking, you're not working. Report to IT professionals. I also already mentioned that one. So reporting and mitigation threats. Importance of prompt reporting. So it is timely. Time is the most critical part of it, that you have to do in a timely manner. Don't wait till this will get populated and say maybe it was just something that could have been resolved by itself. No, as soon as you see something that it's not working the way it should have, look for these kind of signs that maybe a hacker is trying to get into your system. And threat analysis, analyze the incident, help identify weaknesses and understanding. Before these threats happen, if you identify the vulnerabilities and weaknesses on your system, then you could write a lot of software, patch it and everything else to just prevent it. So it's important. The weakness of cyber is that one weak on the chain, the whole chain is there. One lane is broken, the whole chain is broken, as you know. Implementing fixes, how you implement the fixes is important, depending on the incident and how you restore from the backups and what kind of breaches was done. It's all important how to follow those policies and how to enhance those policies as the incident happened. And maybe sometimes disaster happens, but you have recovered it. And then how you recovered it, it's not just like, well, it was a earthquake, it happened, a disaster, and now you're in the recovery mode. But maybe the hardware that you were running was also running software that was, or firmware that was way old, and now you don't have software to install it, and the application that you're using is not kind of available for you to do it anymore in terms of downloading RPMs or something. So it is important to just measure what you have and what you should do in order to prevent these kind of attacks. Preventing future incident, that's what I just said, and so that is important to do. Best practices for staying safe online. Safe browsing habits. So when you go to a website, make sure that, first of all, avoid suspicious links. So any links that they send it, if you just kind of browse over the URL, then you can see the IP address that is actually going to Bank of America or XYZ company or google.com, or it's not going to an IP address. And by seeing it an IP address, you know that that's kind of suspicious. And then also recognize secure website. By just going to google.com, obviously there's no malware on google.com. When you want to download something from Google or Amazon or Oracle or some company like CNN or other ones, make sure that they are going through HTTPS. And all of these companies that I named, they are going to Hypertext Transfer Protocol secure. Including MyWebUniversity, I have installed. We pay for the certificate and we install certificate in order to encrypt our website. And so it is HTTPS. All the banks should have HTTPS. If you see HTTP versus HTTPS, the HTTP is not trusted because it's a clear text. If you type in login password, somebody could sniff into the network and read your password from the network. It's going in a clear text, not encryption. And verifying website authenticity. Always important to verify the authenticity of the website. So if they have something like docs.google.com or java.oracle.com, something, make sure you, when you click on it, if you do click on it, before you click on it, mouse over through the URL to make sure that it's not pointing to an IP address. It's actually going in. And you can also do a NS lookup, name server lookup on the IP address. And if the IP address is going to google.com and you're trying to access google.com, then it is going to resolve to google.com. But if the IP address is different than Google website and the URL says google.com, when you just point to it, it says, oh, this is google.com, but the IP address is 192 dot something, then it's going to go to somebody's personal network or something. It could be any IP address. I'm just giving you a number, but that doesn't mean that's the right number. And verifying website authenticity, so that was we discussed. And data encryption and backups. So everything that you do encryption and then your system backup regularly, whether you have a full backup, incremental backup, and then weekly backup. You could also have snapshots based on the backup of a storage that you have, and then you could have a snapshot of VMs that you could store. You could have all kind of backups, and then you can have backups of the system. So on MyWebUniversity, I do a lot of backups. I automate it. So I have monthly and I have weekly, and I have whenever I need to do some changes, and then at the same time I back up that one, then I download it to off area other than my web server. So I just run it on the local machine somewhere, then I put it on the external disk drive. So I have it just in case if something got compromised, or thank God in the past 24 years or 25 years, I have been running this website and it's all secure. It is not compromised. And then I have a lot of things that I have taught there, including Linux online courses that you could go and practice, and you can run Linux command on a browser, as you know. So watch those videos, and if you see that one, Usually companies like Google and other ones, they don't provide those kind of software because of security reasons. But I have done it different ways because I teach those courses at the college level, and then I also I have 2 degrees with Bachelor of Science and Master of Science in Computer Science, and more than 30 years. I know what I'm doing, and thank God I have not been compromised. And that's why I'm providing you this kind of information to protect yourself in a safe way. Education and training users, that's very important. I'm providing you to train you this one so you can, if you have a company or something, how to protect yourself. It is never just one session or 1 hour video or 1 hour class is never going to be the safest. But I've highlighted the important things as an introduction to cybersecurity, like an introduction 101 class. And then watch my other videos, and then there's all kind of videos that I have made in the past about two-factor authentication, about the open SSH, and about hacking, about writing software, and a lot of stuff. So reducing risk and then is important, and then also share your knowledge. By sharing your knowledge, you're going to care about other ones. Sharing is caring, and then if you share the knowledge that you have, you're going to help thousands, and that's going to propagate everywhere. As a conclusion, importance of cybersecurity. Understand cybersecurity is essential in our increasingly digital world to protect sensitive information. Protective measures, and taking protective measures is crucial for individuals and organizations to safeguard against cyber threats. Awareness is very important, awareness of threats before it happens and after it happens, what do you do, post-analysis. Being aware of various cyber threats helps in developing effective strategies for protecting. And when it happens, how you enhance your system, how you train your users, how you write procedure, how you guide them to be safe. That is, and result or conclusion for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Please don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. And then our channel is MyWebUniversity.com. As you can see, the 2 key HTTPS. It is going through secure page, and then its website is MyWebUniversity.com. And you can come in here. There's all kind of menu here, explore courses. You can go to my YouTube channel. You can go to my YouTube channel in English, YouTube channel in Farsi. Learn the direct path to Linux Ubuntu, which is the entire book, 14 chapters, and practice math, and then all of these ones. So as an example, if I go to explore courses, you see that I'm teaching you Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9 full course is about 4 hours a video. This is a video that more than 20,000 people already have been watching it, and a lot of people like it. Similarly, this is a full course on Rocky Linux. People watching it and like it. This is Bash scripting. So a lot of things about Bash scripting, shell scripting, and then a lot of utilities and users, the kernel, the shells, the C shell, corn shell, bash, ZSH, and all of that. So I have discussed it. This is Linux Ubuntu long-term support. There's 8 hours, 6 hours of video. This one is part 1 of 2, from novice to expert. And so you could get a lot from it. This is programming with R language, R course from 0 to hero. And then there's Solaris operating system, Oracle Solaris 11, Sun Solaris. This is Linux Fedora distribution. So all of these courses, mastering Visual Studio Code, and then Python data structure, string set, less tuples, less comprehension, data dictionary and classes. And then also just online, you can go ahead, type in any Linux command, and I'll give you the output here. So this free online course, you can learn the entire Linux operating system by just coming, and here you type in the command. For example, if you type in date command, it runs dynamically on my server and give you the output on the browser. If you type in calendar, for example, it tells you that this month is there. If you say, for example, calendar 19070, that is the epoch calendar January of 1970, January 1st, I say that, I mean first month, and then you could do that one. January is first month. And you can do other commands like ls minus l. So I was talking about cybersecurity. Somebody may just say, well, if he gave me this PWD, it runs, I'm going to do PWDs, a SQL injection kind of things, and then do RM minus RF, remove minus RM dash RF, meaning that remove forcefully, recursively the root partition and everything that's there. This will wipe out the entire server, but by running PWD, this one, but then a malicious code here, they want to run it. So the hacker put this one, I said, no, you just wasted your time. I'm not going to allow the command that you do. And if you want to just learn how to do RM command or something, go to my website. I already wrote a PDF documentation for you. I'm still trying to help him, and I gave you these thousands of other PDF files there. So if the person look for like Python, for example, he could do a Python and then Python 3.1. There's 12 of them, right? So Python 3.6. If you just click on this one, then I open the PDF version of Python. Similarly, if he says, okay, how about if I just come in on the website? Let me just go to here. He says, how about if I do a change mode? 755 store.cgi. I want to just say make change mode and then 644 star.cgi. If I say 644, that's read right by the owner, and everybody else has read, but nobody has execute permission. So if I just type in like this one, then the hacker might just say, well, if I make this program not executable, then it's gonna be just protect. And then now I say, no, you're not allowed to do this one. If you type in anything like this, says, okay, maybe I will try this, and then I say, no, this thing is not there. So you type in a valid command, I execute it. And I type a valid command, I execute it, give him the output. You name dash A, and that is, I still tell him that you're running, this is the kernel name, and this is all the information about Linux or Ubuntu. Cat minus n etc os dash release, and you get the output on there. So if you type in the command that's valid, you're going to get it. Otherwise, he does it. That's very important. So there's a lot of ways you can do this one. I'm going to just show you on the home page more things. So if you go to this one, for example, on this one, it's going to open the YouTube channel, and this is in the English version. It's about 1.7K videos. So you're welcome to learn from all these videos online there. And then the same thing if you want to go to the 4C version, and this is the 4C version. The 4C version is also here, and then those of you that speak 4C or DALI, I made about 207 videos already, so you're welcome to learn from that one also. Inshallah, yad migirin bakhair. Tana koshish kareem. Well, I'm going to also talk about the website here. And so the direct path to Linux Ubuntu, this is my book that I told you that everything is online. So you have 14 chapters here that is, you're welcome to practice them. And if you're looking for books, for example, PDF file for the Rocky version or the Red Hat, you just click here, there's 12,000 PDF files here for this. And if you want to say like, I need to learn GCC, You just click on it and just click on the PDF. I just generate about 678 pages of this. There's a lot on this website. It's all of these. So if you want to learn something like Node.js or React or R language or something, let's say this one I wrote it for the Bash, and the one that I wrote it is State Dynamic. Chapter 12, you click on this one, I generate this one on the fly for you. ZSH this. So if you're not looking for the, I mean, if you're looking for ZSH, I already have it here. But if you say instead of ZSH, give me something like Node.js. So and Node, I'm going to just create the Node PDF, and then here you just add. And inside here, if you want to just go somehow to Control F and type in HTTPS. So notice that everything with Node.js that are URL that are there, my website is already giving you the help. Say, okay, if you want to go to nodejs.org, click here, and I'll take you to nodejs.org. Then you can go to docs and then start learning that one. Similarly, if you want to get like Java, for example, you just type in Java here. And then you get a java.pdf file here, and then all the documentation here. And then if you say java.oracle.com, if it is there, or some other thing, HTTPS, then you can see on docs.oracle.java.com, and it is there. So this one is page not found because it's an old one. So you just remove this one, and then you just go to Java, and then you can see all kind of pages are available for you, the GDK, right? So there's all kind of details here that could help you. And then at the same time, if somebody like your younger brother, sister wants to learn math, you can teach them all kind of math here. For example, if they want to learn division, you could say increase the number here, whatever, and then here they increase the number. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and then if you just say decrease it by 1, and it's 6 divided by 1 is 6, and then if you just make it 0, 6 divided by 0 is not divisible, so you get division by 0 is not allowed, and then the value. And once you increase the number, if you just make the denominator bigger, you get different values, right? So it is very good in terms of you can do a console also by inspecting it. You can see the under the console. You can see all the output that you are doing it. You can also do information here like math dot absolute value of -10. You could do all of that. Math dot how of 2 to the power of 10 is 1024, and so on. So you could do a lot of stuff at the console window. And then the other thing is for this one, if you're learning into the website, let me just go to the website here. Like here, I say the direct path to Linux Ubuntu. You could say, what if somebody wants to learn advanced Linux? So for that one, I have chapter 4. This about 88 commands here. Each one of them you click on, like process stream 3. I will run the command like this is going to show you system D process D. Process 1 is the system D. So process the stream 3 on 1, you're gonna get a system D with a 3 kind of a structure, and the output is all showing here. At the same time, if you're just doing man pages, I print you the manual pages here. And if you say, what about printf command? Man pages. What about scanf? So a lot of the things that are system related, you can still get the output for it. You're welcome to explore those things. And then if you just are practicing something that like user add, notice that this is all I don't want somebody to run my program to just hack my site with adding a user. So for that one, or group, or modifying a user, all of those ones I wrote here like a documentation for you to practice it there. So if you're going to, let's say on these videos, or also for each row, I have a video here that explains those 8 rows. So this is the last row, 8 of 8, which would be starting from G core ending to make. And then the make and other ones, I also made Apache stuff and all those bash, and you're welcome to watch it. Also here I have some technical documentation on each of these operating system. Red Hat Linux, I have about 12,747 PDF. Linux Rocky, about 9,000 there. Linux Ubuntu, about 6,992. PowerShell, if you're learning PowerShell, about 7,000 there. And then Windows Help. So each one of these, when you click on, this is for PowerShell, you get this one. So if you do like git dash process, and then you just click on it, I just generate you the PDF version for PowerShell. And similarly, if you want to do the Windows here, you could just get all that information. For Windows, in addition to sending you the command like make directory to just do this one, I also have the audio for it. The audio is going to just you just open it here and then click here, it just reads it for you.
Creates a directory, mkdir, drive, pathmd, drive, path. If command extensions are enabled, mkdir changes as follows. Mkdir creates any intermediate directories in the path. If needed, for example, assume a does not exist.
So you can stop it, and you can also change the playback speed and others, and you can do all kind of things with it. So I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'm gonna go to our website and subscribe it. There's a lot here more, and then the 4C version is also there. I showed you, and then you can also go to playlist, and then I have playlist for the videos that you could watch. For example, if you're learning MySQL, click on here. And then this one, you just listen to this video for all kind of courses on MySQL and there. And you can make it bigger so you could see it like the whole course there. And then I just
this other one that is already up and running.
So I'm gonna stop here, and then I'm gonna just go here back, and this is all kind of information available for you. And if you go to videos, there's a lot of videos here that you could watch for the course. And then if you go to videos in 4C, I have videos in 4C that I teach for Afghan and Iranian and people from Tajikistan that they speak 4C or Dari. My mother tongue is Dari, which I was born in Kabul, Afghanistan. And I'm very happy and have the pride that I studied until high school, Abibia High School, for 12th grade. When I passed it, and I had to leave during the Russian war, and then I was lucky enough to just make it to the United States, and just went through my college degree for computer science, and Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Master of Science in Computer Science. And I've taught a lot of courses on the computer colleges part-time, as well as working full-time for the past 30 years. So a lot of these videos are going to help you in both languages, whether you watch the English version or the 4C version of it. Okay, take care. God bless you. I'm going to stop this video because it's 12:24 and I need to sleep. I have to wake up tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.